The 15-yard files is brought to you by Hoyt Archery, Scent Blocker, Trophy Ridge Archery Products, Blood Sport Arrows, El Halcon Lodge and Outfitters, Buck Knives, Scout Look Weather, Redneck Hunting Blinds, Wasp Archery, Hazel Creek Taxidermy.
Folks, thanks for being with me today. We have an action-packed hunt. We're going to be headed to western Nebraska to team up with Justin Simmons of Spring Meadows. And folks, you know I love western Nebraska Merriams. And this hunt's going to be extra special because we're teaming up with Michelle Brantley from Kentucky on her very first Merriam's turkey hunt. So it's going to be a lot of fun, so sit back and enjoy.
I'm Michelle Brantley. I'm here with Annetta Morris. We're in Nebraska on an early morning bow hunt. We've got a flock of turkeys across the road here, strutting and gobbling, and we're just waiting for them to come on across. So we're pretty excited.
Reload.
I didn't make a good shot, did I?
Don't read this. Yeah. Reload.
Shoot him again.
No, let him go. You missed him.
What?
You missed him.
I rushed my shot. I did everything right, and then whenever I got to full draw, I didn't settle my pin, and that's just what happens. I didn't pick a spot. I mean, I anchored up and everything. I just didn't settle. So.
Now that was a textbook perfect turkey hunt. Gobbler right off the roost, come right into the decoy spread, allowed Michelle to draw her bow. Everything was perfect except for she missed. Now folks, I've been there. I've taken a few feathers like Michelle did, and the turkey runs off and you just sit there and you're in disbelief that you missed. And by the look on Michelle's face, I know she was bummed out. But the great thing about Nebraska is there's a lot of gobblers. Folks, there must have been 20 toms or more gobbling on the roost that morning. So we sat back, we started calling, and it wasn't long, the second wave of turkeys came right in.
Y'all tell me. Y'all just tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah, it's too far. Let's wait.
Okay.
Can she make that shot? Just wait for him to get the decoys.
Well, the second wave of turkeys came right to the decoy spread, but they held up just outside, just out of Michelle's comfortable range. And that hen, she put on an amazing display of a courtship teasing that old gobbler. She was ready to lay for him, but every time he would get up close to her, she would jump up and run a circle. And there were other hens that got involved in the chase. Folks, I hope you really appreciated that piece of footage, because there's not very many people that ever get to see a hen and a gobbler in a courtship battle like that. Well, after a while, they finally got tired of hanging out in the decoy spread, and they went on about their way. So we picked up our gear, and we went back and we had a lunch. We talked about how great our morning was. And on our way back from lunch, we found a big group of turkeys out in the field. So we decided we were going to slip down, get set up on them, and just do some blind calling, trying to get some of the gobblers to break off that flock and come right to us. It wasn't long, we were right in the action.
Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move.
That was amazing.
Well, what do you think?
That was awesome, Callie.
Huh?
That was awesome.
How far was that?
I have no idea. Like, too close for comfort. It was awesome.
I saw him. I was down there kind of filming an angle that way, and I saw him just coming down the creek. You know, I heard Callie say something. I heard him drumming, and I saw a big old white fan, and I mean, I thought he's going to run over you.
Yeah, I looked and he was coming right through there, and I was like, oh my gosh, that thing's huge. So he turned, and I mean, he spun and put that butt to me, you know, and opened that fan out, and I couldn't see his eyes, and I was like, all right.
So what are you not thinking about right now?
I don't know.
You're not thinking about that when
Work.
you missed this morning, are you?
Oh. I was thinking, I'm not thinking about work. I'm on spring break. No, I'm definitely not thinking about the one I missed. No.
So this is my lovely wife, and just as she said, she is a 4th grade teacher and a new mama. We've got a 10-month-old baby at home. This is our first long trip away from him.
Yeah.
This is your spring break. This is
Yeah.
the first hunting trip you've gotten to take since we had our son,
Yeah.
and it's a pretty special one for you.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been looking forward to this for a long time. And that, if we don't see another turkey this trip, seeing that right there made it, didn't it?
Yes, it
so
did,
I'm very proud of you. You held it together and made a great shot. So.
How far did you go?
Not far. Probably 15 yards. Oh my gosh.
What do you think of that?
That's awesome.
Go ahead.
That's cool. This is my first Miriam. So this morning I had a perfect opportunity at a strutter and just simply didn't take my time and pick out a good spot and aim. So I missed that one, and so we came up and have set up in a different spot down here in this creek bottoms, and this lone gobbler came in perfect 5 yards away. But this time I made sure that I stopped and picked out a good spot before I ever released that arrow. So it worked out perfect. He went about 10 yards and fell over. This is my first Nebraska Merriam's and my first turkey outside of my home state.
Michelle had an awesome Western Nebraska Merriam's turkey hunt. Folks, how could you ask for any more? 3 big toms in one day. She missed one, had a great encounter, and then finally harvested her first Merriam's turkey. Michelle, what an awesome hunt. Let's talk about the strategies of why Michelle was successful. Well, tip number 1 is hold your pin on the target. Michelle said everything was perfect except for she didn't settle her pin. Folks, let me tell you how I combat that. I do what's called the 3-count system. When I draw my bow, I hold the pin on the target. Once I'm on the target, my mind mentally starts counting to 3. Once I hit 3, then I release. Now, most of the time in a hunting scenario, I'll hold it on there, and by the time I get to 3, I've already shot. But what that does is it doesn't allow me to shoot too soon. You get adrenaline, you get nervous, you start shaking, and the next thing you know, you're not settled on your target. So try the 3-count, it'll really help. Now, tip number 2 is learning to mouth call. Merriam's turkeys are one of the most vocal turkeys that you'll ever get to hunt, and you can see on the second tom that came in on Michelle's bow hunt, she was very, very vocal. So I started calling to her, trying to entice her to get her into the decoy spread. Now, some of the hens came in, but the one that was wanting to lay for the tom, she really never came in, and she held the gobbler right out to the outside. But the key to this whole segment is the calling. Those hens yelp so beautifully. They'll teach you the length of the yelp, how long the series can be, how many yelps is in the series. If you'll study this and practice, it'll make you a better mouth caller. But folks, nothing's going to beat you getting in the field and calling to yelping hens. Now, tip number 3, this is the hunter decoy setup, where the hunter sets in relationship to the decoys. Let's talk about Michelle's first setup. I put a hen on her belly to the left, a gobbler in the middle, and I put a confidence hen to my right, but I kept her very close to me. The reason why is I was in a big open field, and I knew there were going to be a lot of turkeys. If I would have put the confidence hen too far out, they could have hung up on her and not come into our kill zone. Now, on the second setup, you'll see that I put the gobbler in the kill zone right off the bat. The turkeys were to our left. I knew when the turkey came in, he was going to see the decoy spread, and I wanted him to stop at the first decoy. So it was the gobbler, and then I put the hen on her belly even closer to Michelle, and then off to the right, about 15 yards, I put the confidence hen. Folks, if you try these strategies on your next archery turkey hunt, I know you're going to be more successful. Don't forget to go sign up on the Bringin It Home YouTube page today, and thanks for being with us right here on the 15-Yard Files.
Where you can't see the forest for all the cottonwood trees. My little humble abode sits back in a hole where nothing don't bother me. And in the spring of the year when the big birds strut, you can bet I'm gonna call. I'll be hunting tom turkeys and eating deer jerky that we killed back in the fall. I got a blonde-haired, green-eyed beauty queen. She knows how to treat me right. And she's been known to hunt the rut till she's got one in her sights. We got a big old red truck with 4 doors and